Hello. And welcome to Pepe News. Well, it's fair to say that I have seen some things, Pepe, and I have drawn the short straw. We have been tasked with analyzing ABC's reaction to the State of the Union. I guess let's just dive in. You ready? I have seen some things, Pepe.
This ain't nothing. Now, I've seen some truly painful things. Roll clip.
The women in white, many newly elected Democratic women on the floor of the House of Representatives this evening in one of, if not the most indelible moments of the State of the Union speech, cheering USA, USA, and we're back now.
Whoa. I know we are just getting started, but we are not going to let that type of framing slide. These women, cheering for themselves, was most certainly not a high point in this speech. You are not going to set the stage that it was not POTUS who delivered. Though, POTUS getting them all to cheer at something he said and chant USA, USA. Meme magic does exist.
Yeah, what do they expect? Us to believe that the tampon brigade were the stars?
Kick.
Speech. Joining me from Washington, ABC's political contributors Cokie Roberts, Matthew Dowd, and Donna Brazile. And in New Jersey, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is at Rutgers University tonight.
Real all-star crew they got for this one.
Everybody, Cokie Roberts, let me start with you.
Not going to lie, I honestly did not know she was still alive.
Let's go back to that moment of the women in white, those Democratic members of the House of Representatives, many of them newly elected, cheering and chanting on the floor of the House of Representatives during the president's speech tonight. What do you make of that moment?
It was like nothing we've ever seen before.
What?
You've never seen people cheering for themselves. I admit, it seems like a rather high level of narcissism, but you have covered politicians for years.
Also, for real, bro? You are going to insult your audience's intelligence that much by trying to lead with this side story, and make it seem like such a big event, when POTUS delivered a magnificent State of the Union address that over 70% of people approved of.
But the whole picture was like nothing we've ever seen before. We've never seen that many women.
That many women outside the kitchen is what I believe you meant to say.
X gon' give it to you. What? You can get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, open up the door to free.
We've never seen that many women in the Congress, and for them to get together and wear the suffragist color of white was a statement, obviously.
But a statement of what? Women can vote. We have record numbers of women in Congress. We have record numbers of women working. What statement are they trying to make?
But also, it provided such a visual image of all of them together in this sea of white, and on the other side, all these guys in blue, and not looking all that exciting. And they...
You know, by trying to say how important this is by judging how people were dressed compared to others, you are making the point of why women should not be in politics. Maybe back to the kitchen.
Chose a way to respond to Trump with a really clever and totally spontaneous.
Totally spontaneous? Totally spontaneous? Overlooking the fact that this is about to be contradicted by a fellow panel member. They all dressed the same, so obviously planned. And they all were looking around at each other about what they should, or were allowed, to do. That is the opposite of spontaneity. The mainstream media never let facts get in the way of pushing a narrative.
Donna Brazile, let me bring you in.
Bringing in a cheater to the panel makes sense. This is the mainstream media, and the Democrat Party did select Stacey Abrams to deliver the rebuttal.
Donna Brazile, let me bring you in because there was another woman in the chamber tonight also wearing white who was looming literally and figuratively above the president.
Man, you guys really do seem to be having a hard time with the fact that the man you have tried to demonize for the past 2 years gave a great speech that the majority of the country approves of. You guys look like grade schoolers afraid to study for the big test. If we do not look at it, it does not exist. Need to clean my room, eat, anything but study. So we moved from the women in white to Nancy Pelosi, no mention of Trump. He really did a number on you, didn't he?
Also, if by looming large you mean face looking like it is going to melt off.
Tonight, a lot of us were watching her facial expressions very closely.
To see if it was going to melt off?
Did you watch along with us, and what did you make of those facial expressions?
Well, Speaker Pelosi is no stranger to that seat. She's been in that chair before. And what I enjoyed about her performance tonight is that she kept looking at her caucus as if to say on cue, yeah, that's good. No, I don't know.
Oh, so reactions weren't spontaneous? Also, is this not a perfect representation of the way the Democratic Party sees governance? Control, and no free thought. What she liked most is Pelosi telling her caucus what to think. Goes right along with the desire for big, all-powerful government. We cannot have people engaging in wrong think now, can we? This is so un-American. Do not think the wrong thing. Don't support the wrong thing.
Women in white stole the show.
No, they did not. And there are about 1 billion memes that show they did not. But once again, mainstream media won't let facts get in the way of the narrative they are trying to push.
There, but there's no question that tonight the president reached across the aisle on, say, border security. He didn't make it, but he did make it on infrastructure. He said, I want to, end HIV epidemic.
What's this? Somewhat honest reporting? Trump did reach across the aisle. What was it he said?
As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation. The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people. There is a new opportunity in American politics if only we have the courage together to seize it. Victory is not winning for our party. Victory is winning for our country.
That's right. And Brenda, you caught yourself. You almost went off script with immigration. Your handlers might get upset with you.
Let me bring Chris Christie for a second here. Chris, Governor, you are an ally of the president.
Interesting way to phrase that opening, no? I wonder if introducing him as an ally of Trump is a way to discredit what he has to say. The other two are introduced as experts. He is introduced as an ally. So he's going to give an ally's perspective. Not to be fully trusted. Now, we are not saying we should not present or be aware of the biases of those presenting to us. Just seems very disingenuous to only do it for one guest.
Did something quite bold this evening, which is he called out the quote-unquote ridiculous investigations by him. He didn't say Robert Mueller's name, but certainly he was another figure looming large this evening. Do you think it was wise for him to call these investigations ridiculous?
Well, listen, I don't think that's what he was talking about. I think he was drawing a line for Congress with investigations that haven't even started yet.
Oh. You guys are losing the narrative. The truth is getting out there. Mueller will produce nothing. And the House is going to start up a bunch of probes and investigations trying to stall, delay, find anything, just about do anything that can to get rid of the president, who we the people elected, because their wishes matter more than we the people. Man, you guys sure did put a lot of hope in the Mueller basket, especially for it being based on made-up information. Also, I made this point in this video. You guys want to have me on as a political analyst? Oh, and then there is this tweet from POTUS.
So now Congressman Adam Schiff announces, after having found zero Russian collusion, that he is going to be looking at every aspect of my life, both financial and personal, even though there is no reason to be doing so. Never happened before. Unlimited presidential harassment. The Dems and their committees are going nuts. The Republicans never did this to President Obama. There would be no time left to run government. I hear other committee heads will do the same thing. Even stealing people who work at White House. A continuation of witch hunt.
You know what, I have had enough of this, and this video has gone long already. You guys see what the mainstream media does. But on average our audience is probably a standard deviation more intelligent than the mainstream media's audience. For all of us here at Pepe News. Good night. God bless. And as always, where we go one, we go all.
Meme montage to play us out. You can't get rid of me that easily.